And one other thing right quick, in the light of day, I wanted to show I decided to go ahead and put my shoes on. I'll show them to you here. Let's turn this around with my static protection on. This is how we wear them at work. So this keeps us all static electricity discharged to the ground, which the warehouse the floor is entirely concrete. And then the little, where is it? The little gray strap right here. I decided to just go ahead and put my shoes on because it was a little more comfortable. And then that goes inside your sock so that it touches your skin, and something about your skin and the moisture prevents static electricity from discharging into parts that you touch. So yeah, there it is. There, and we have to stand on these devices at work actually to test these grounding straps. So we stand on these devices like this. There's two metal plates, and then we stick our fingers into like a little hole, and it tells us, sort of like a little electronic reader device, and it tells us whether or not our grounding straps are properly grounding us. So I decided to use those for my build. Yeah, I know, next level. I went ahead and took the CPU here out of its little covering, and so here it is. Try not to get all in the light. The main thing about the CPU is on the back here with the pins, there will be up there in the top right hand corner that little sort of golden triangle that lines up, and of course you can also see there are 3 pins on each of the other corners in a diagonal, and then right there where that little golden thing, it's kind of more like they're not 3 in a row. And if you look carefully at the orientation here of the board, you can see that right here, whoops, right here, gosh darn it, right in this corner here is the spot where that little golden triangle goes, because the other 3 corners all have the 3 dots in a row. So that little triangle goes, you just line that up, and then just very gently, very hard to line all that up, and then you place it right in there, and it just drops right in. So that's CPU placement, and then once that's in, and you feel pretty good about it, even though it should be so that this writing here is right side up. Come on, people, get it together. I mean, like, right side up with respect to the orientation of the rest of the board as it is shown in the manual, which I have it now. Anyhow, and then this little lever here that comes down, that I lifted before I did this, you just push that down like so until you get it to just kind of snug up underneath that little pin right there. Alright, so that's the CPU installed, and I believe next we'll go ahead and do probably this right here, our memory card, which once again will go right here. Alright, and I'm probably not going to film all that because I'd like to get my computer up and running today. Most of you probably understand how to do graphics cards, although I will go ahead and make sure right now that all of these, actually I'm not going to use them all, I've only got 2, so I'll have to, oh, they made it so that you no longer have to do both sides, you only unclip one side, so you apparently just put it in at an angle over here, and then push it down, and the clip pops up. So, alright, I'm probably just going to do that without, once I have a stand, I'll show more things, but I need both my hands. So, yep, that's basically the main thing about the processor. So, the processor's in, woohoo, let's go. Alright, quick update. This is with the motherboard laying flat over here on this table next to the case. The light's coming from this, actually, might be better if I put it on this. Alright, I'll just for my YouTubes. Let's go ahead and just move all this stuff over and bring this up here. Hold on one second. Got a little weight to it now. Wait, don't tell me. Alright, this is going to be a little bit better. I've done all of this. I just kept the motherboard on the static shielding. Alright, so this is with the CPU cooler and CPU installed. That was quite straightforward and quite easy actually. You just remove the screws that are in there already, and then screw in the screws that come with the it right here. I need a pointer. Come with it right here. So they're quite easy. The hardest part about that was just 1 second. The hardest part about that was just making sure to apply even pressure. Come on in. Yo. Just making sure to apply even pressure, because when I did the one of the screws here, it didn't quite go in because I think I had a little bit too much pressure on the other three, so I had to ease up some pressure to be able to line that up. But other than that, that was incredibly straightforward. There's the memory. The main thing about the memory that you want to keep in mind is, first of all, you want to buy memory in sets of 2 or 4, and they run in channels. So in this particular thing, by consulting the manual, I was able to determine that this is the A2 channel and this is the B2 channel. So you want to make sure that they're fine. If I were to put both of these chips next to each other, I would not be taking full advantage of my RAM capacity, my RAM speeds, and all that good stuff. It would still recognize it, would still work, but you would be sucky. You would suck. You would not be good. So that's better. And then this was a little bit strange here. The memory, the 1 terabyte memory card. The thing that's really strange about this is the way they have you install it with this. Where the hell did I put that pen? Whatever, the way they have you install it with this here, it bends the card. So you stick it in the little slot here, and then in order to screw it down here, you literally have to bend the card down. I don't know if you can really see that, but yeah, it bends the card in a really strange way, which will keep it away from the graphics card. But yeah, and that's it. All that's installed now. And now I just have left to go ahead and put in the graphics card. I'm sure that they wanted plenty of clearance here so that this can be underneath the graphics card just fine. And my particular graphics card, being a 16 times whatever graphics card, is going to go into this slot here. So that's how that all looks, and I might wait to do that until after I go ahead and put it in the case. Alright, and that's all they gave instructions for. As far as the power supply unit or the hooking up the graphics card or any of that, it goes right into French. So they're like, you ought to know how to do that shit. Alright, so that's where we are now. Peace. Good afternoon. This is future you, future me, wanting to remind you, first of all, that every day, in every way, your life gets even better, and that things are always, always working out for you. And let's give all of us a little update on what's going on here in this present experience we are having. So we are still here at the hotel, and we are still continuing our assignment at DigiKey for Express Employment Professionals. This is a view out of a window which could certainly stand to be cleaned. Yeah, it's snowy. We will have a white Christmas for sure. And we're getting a little warm up though. It's all the way up to like 32. It's going to be in the low 30s all week, and around the high 20s for a low. So that's going to be wonderful, especially because I'm going to be moving this weekend. Well, let's go ahead, and I wanted to give an update on the computer, but here, let's just take a quick peek at Limona. I don't know if this is a, hopefully this is a female lemon tree and will produce, I don't know if lemon trees come in males and females. I'm not sure. That's something I should know more about. But anyhow, here's Limona. Let's see. Am I all the way zoomed out? I am now. Yeah. Let's just go with Limona for now. Limona. And Limona is doing well as my 2 little rosemary cuttings here. And I put an onion that I bought from Walmart down in there too. Stuck it in the dirt. Jared had the great reminder of, hey, if you stick those things in the dirt, they'll grow and you won't have to keep spending money on them. But yeah, the rosemary has rooted, I can tell. I can see a little bit of new growth on both of those cuttings. So that's fantastic. And of course the idea with Limona is to bonsai this lemon tree. And so far it's kind of working out. We got a little bit of thickness forming at the roots and some kind of neat, oh, my shadow's getting in the way. Some kind of neat thickening of the roots here, and we're getting a nice thick stalk trunk after the pruning, pretty intensive pruning I did this spring. But yeah, some new growth there, some shiny leaves. So Limona is doing well, and we're here at the hotel, which we will be checking out of this Sunday. Today is December 9th, 2022. And there's my bed, which I have gotten in the habit of making again in the morning, and that's a very fine thing. There's the bed I have not slept in yet at all. There's my phone charging. There's Lightning, which is doing wonderfully well. My bike that I have converted into an electric bike. Haven't used that in the past couple of weeks. I've been getting rides to work, but I will be using it again, maybe even this week, since we're getting a little bit of a warm-up. Everything else is going great. Getting ready to check out here. Got a little bit of food and some dishes to wash up there that some people gave me some food in and whatnot. A lady is bringing food to work recently, and that's cool. Lasagna we got. Anyhow, let's get on with it. So I built out my computer, and I've never really thought to name a computer. I don't know why. I name cars, I name houses, and such, but don't know how well I wanted to do this in the daytime. I've got it sitting on this static shielding packaging that it came in because it's on carpet, and I just thought that's got to be a good idea, right? I know the fact that this computer is black is making it a little bit more difficult to see. I almost wish this thing had a light on it. But anyhow, here it is in all of its glory. It's working just great, except I have not gotten the red, green, blue, or colors to work yet. I'm not exactly sure what I need to do to get that to work, but everything else is working fine. We got Windows 10 on there. I've just got it hooked up right now to the hotel monitor, which only goes up to 768 by like 1366, which is not as good as my monitor over there on the floor. There's my little workstation or my desk. Speaking of, I've got a second cup of coffee right here. Let's go ahead and get that and have a sip of that. And taking care of some paperwork over here. Getting ready to repay my son for the money that he lent me to help make this trip possible. Let's see, what have we got here on our Abraham Hicks 365 days a year calendar that my son Joshua bought me for Christmas a few years back. Let's see, what have we got? Every resource you will ever want or need is at your fingertips. All you have to do is identify what you want to do with it, and then practice the feeling place of what it will be like when that happens. There you have it. The Secret to Life, the Universe, and Everything for December 9th. At least. I don't know if it's going to work on the 10th and every other day, but no, I'm sure it will. Oh, we're getting some better light here. So anyways, here it is. We're all hooked up. There's the Ethernet cable coming in. I love the clean lines. I've got my keyboard and mouse coming out of the top here, but let's just go ahead and, since we're getting a little bit better light, let's just go ahead and take a peek inside here. I took the interior. No, I think I took both the interior No, just the interior plastic shielding off. Perhaps I'll save the removal of this bit here for a special YouTube video, because everybody loves to see that. Well, nerds do. And then we've got a little warning there, tempered glass, please handle with care, which I'll remove that because it, although the yellow kind of does go with the black and the aesthetic, I don't really need these warnings in my life. Again, stop trying to save me all the time, people. Okay, so here's the little magnetic door. I love this case. So glad I went ahead and there we go. Put out the money. Oop, there we go. It folds open like that on the hinges, and those hinges just slide right off, so I can remove the entire glass case. Wonderful thing. There's our PSU, or power supply unit, down there, and then in here we have all the brains and stuff. So here's my processor. I should write down exactly what the specs are. Again, you can find those specs at PCPartPicker.com under Infinite's budget build number 2, I think it is. There's my graphics card. I love those copper. That looks so cool. And then we have 3 140mm fans here, and space for another 140mm fan there and on the top through the mesh, which I will at a minimum be installing a 140mm fan there at the rear to extract even more heat from the system. But yeah, kind of hard to see it from that angle, but there it is in all of its glory, all installed. Everything's working great. I love it. I'm going to be streaming soon, and this will also enable me to go ahead and edit my, what are those? How you doing there? That's into that sort of thing. How you doing? Well, I'm doing that. No, this is PG rated now. Let's see. Yeah, so there she is in all her glory. She? I don't know if my computer is a she. I'm not sure. I don't know if it's a she or a thing or an it. I don't know. Anyways, that'll all become clear as time goes on, I'm sure. But yeah, there it is. With my cable management, I'm pretty happy with it. It's all wrapped up. It's a pretty clean build, I think. Certainly better than any I've ever had before. At present, I've got 2 8GB strips of RAM in there, but I'm going to be upgrading that. It can be upgraded to as much as 128GB of RAM. But yeah, that's it, all put together in its glory. Go ahead and close this door. Just wanted to give a little update, and when I have some better lighting, I will be moving to a more permanent accommodation this weekend on Sunday. Checking out from here and moving on. So I'll be able to set up a bit more of a permanent situation for my computer. Well, somewhat more permanent, at least through the end of my initial 3-month contract. And yeah, there it is. It's working lovely. I downloaded, I guess I could turn this around, could I? I'm looking kind of, I don't know how I'm looking, but whatever. I haven't brushed my hair and all that stuff, but who's vain around here? I'm looking at, I installed Monster Hunter, and I installed Black Desert Online. I started playing that yesterday, but it takes a while to get Black Desert Online even set up, to go through all the settings. So far, I'm really enjoying it, and then I kind of had to get ready for work. Trying to decide whether or not to do another couple of hours of overtime today. I've done 6 hours this week, and I've got some thoughts about the whole overtime situation and how much overtime I want to work, and I'll go into that a little bit in a little bit greater detail soon. I think that I want to refocus some of that. I mean, if I were to work a total of 16 hours of overtime, I mean, that comes out to essentially another $10 times 16. Well, I have 20. I would, if I took all the overtime I could work this week and what I've worked, and what I could work next week, that would be a total of 24 hours of overtime, which is $240 before taxes. But I'm kind of starting to think that it would make more sense, or that it does make more sense to give something else to look at here. No, because I'm going to be all dark if I go that way.
if it makes more sense to focus that attention and that energy into my YouTube channel and to streaming, both things that I certainly am more passionate about than working at DigiKey. Although I love working at DigiKey, I highly recommend, highly recommend. Express Pros has been fantastic. I've had a wonderful experience here, and it's a really good gig. If you just want to get some money and you don't necessarily want to be tied down to something for an extended period of time, yeah, look into it. DigiKey. I'll maybe get the information and whatnot as I get my YouTube channel set up a little bit more, and just have some more information for those of you who might be interested in that opportunity. At any rate, yeah, a little bit of an update there. It's Friday, December 9th, and it's payday, in fact. I won't really be able to do much with that until tomorrow. I guess I could go to the store. Probably going to get some beer this weekend. Haven't been drinking very much. That's what happens when you work more. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. She's all put together, and I'll be downloading VSDC, I believe, is what I'll be using for my editing program. There it is. I'm gonna learn all the specs. It's definitely some kind of P500A case. Oh, it's a Phanteks P500A case. That was $159. I think that was the most expensive. No, I think my video card was the most expensive component in the build. But I'll get the specs and whatnot and start putting them in the description, etc. as I become a better YouTuber, become a YouTuber at all. Actually, I've got some YouTube already, but anyhow, that's all the news from Thief River Falls. I was going to say Lake Wobegon, and for those of you that get the reference, Lake Wobegon, but yeah. Remember, every day in every way, your life gets even better, and things are always working out for you. Always. Always.